Hello, everybody. It's a Friday night, and looky, who's got a cookie? I got Mel here tonight. So just on a whim, on a spur of the moment, Shari contacted Mel, and she's the Mel whisperer, so she got him here. We're
Yay!
so happy, and I'm happy too. I had a little panic attack earlier because I thought we were supposed to be going on at 7, and I hadn't eaten my food yet, and so I'm sitting here talking to Shari, wolfing down my tater tots and my burger. But we made it, and 7:30, and we're still late, even though I was ready for 7. So I
I
just
had
wanted
just
to.
walked in. I had just walked in from work, and I had my Greek food, and I get a text from Shari, "Can you do Politarology tonight?" And I said, "Give me a few minutes." I thought I was at 6, so she said no, 6:30. So I put my Greek food in the oven. My salad's going to be like, that's okay. I don't care.
Oh,
No,
well,
that's
thank
fine.
you.
But
Thank you
it's
so
worth.
much for
I'm
being
not
here.
worried about it. But
Thank you
anyway,
so
I
much.
just said, "Yeah, send me a link," and I jumped in my Aloha shirt, and here we are.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. And we have been trying to get together with Mel off and on for various shows, and it's just nice when it works out. Just life has just gotten in the way for us both. So, things have been happening.
It
Okay.
happens.
Yep. So Shari is starring the questions for us, and we're going to try to get through as many questions as we can, of course. And my sister Cleo is here with us. And Cleo, show everybody your shirt.
Go
Seattle
Hawks,
The
go Hawks, go
Seahawks.
Hawks.
The
Seahawks.
Seahawks are playing for the
Yay!
third time in the Super Bowl on Sunday. And I'm sure a lot of people are celebrating the Super Bowl, but very intelligent, extremely intelligent people are celebrating the Seahawks being in the Super Bowl.
Go Hawks!
What
Yeah.
time did
I
the
know what that's like. We went through that a few years back when the Saints actually won and everybody went nuts. I mean, it's been over 10 years now and people still go nuts when they talk about it.
years ago when Chicago won, the Chicago Bears, they were having, Super Bowl parties. Well, the Stanley Cup too. There were like over a million people celebrating with not one episode of violence whatsoever. So,
Right, right.
but
Yeah, same
Wow.
here. Same
That's
here.
great. So it's at 6:30, but I don't know what time zone that is. Is that Pacific time, Cleo, or is that
Pacific time it's 3:30.
3:30?
So
So
pretty
6:30 is Eastern time.
so
Okay.
6:30 would be yes, Eastern. it's
uh,
coming from California.
Nice.
I've got a Spanish class, so maybe I'll just say, "I'm sorry, I have to watch the Super Bowl." How's that?
You can say hasta la vista, baby. I'm gonna go see the Super Bowl. All right. So I just picked a few little tidbits for us to talk about, and we are gonna start with um our fearless Führer. I mean Donald Trump. Um we he has found in the polls that they are dropping because his immigration tactics are not going over too well with the general population. So Gen Pop is lowering the boom on Dumpy and saying, "We know likey. We don't likey the violence. We know likey the masked men. We don't likey you taking people off the streets and unaliving people. We don't like this at all." So I'm wondering, will this trend? I think what we should read on is, will this trend continue, and will there be more um, overt signs that he has acknowledged this, that people don't like this, and he's having to kind of pull things back and stuff like that. So I don't know if anybody's already ready. Probably Mel and Cleo are going to be ready first with
I
this.
am totally ready.
Okay.
This is just such nonsense. He has put out in the last couple of days. There's been a new articles that like the Millennia movie or documentary is doing so well. We know it's not. That his polls have reversed and come up to at least a 50% acceptance of what Trump is doing. It's all a bunch of lies, a bunch of BS. So, do I think something is going to change? Who knows? It might change in the news, but does it change with us? No. People are pissed. People are paying too much money for everything. They're spending so much money being cruel to people and putting them in concentration camps and stuff. I mean, it's just, and killing them. They're killing them, and he's trying to do a little back step with that, but it doesn't work. It's nonsense. He was saying that, I think they said they'd take 700 or 750 people, excuse me, agents of the ISIS or ICE people I mean, they're taking them out, and but that still leaves like over 2,000 of the agents still there, going after people. No, no, I mean it's the same old, same old. You can't. It changes from day to day. You can't believe a word they are saying, and they are doing everything they can to try to pick up the popularity of Trump. Good luck
But
with
Well, and
that.
just to
but
add a
does
little
this
to the,
go ahead?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Colleen.
But do you think that this trend of just overt acknowledgement of this and us seeing him actually the disagreement with him, is that going to change his behavior? Because it is changing his behavior right now a little bit, because he's actually saying, yeah, I think we have to be what did he say, something a little more gentle or something like
A
that,
little softer, yeah,
a
a
little
little softer.
softer, right? Is it good? Is that going to continue? Is that going to get bigger, or
Oh,
is he
sure,
just
he'll probably continue to say this stuff, but that's what he always does. He says what is ever convenient to help himself. Will he actually go through with it? No, it's just like this $2,000 everybody's supposed to get. No, that's not happening. I mean, it's just Trump's lies. It's continual lies. And he keeps thinking you keep on lying and they start to believe you. Well, that has been true in the past. My thinking is that the general public, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat or whatever, that you are no longer just accepting what he is saying because
yeah,
it's all lies.
yeah, I agree. I'm
And
sorry.
and I just read the other day that, and I don't remember if it was South Dakota or South Carolina. It was one of the Souths, naturally, where they are busy building a special facility that will have gas chambers in them.
Oh God.
And and it came from a very reliable source that I read it on, and I was like, "Oh, that's just exactly what we need, is for, to start building our own gas chambers." So, um, I pulled a couple of cards on this one real quick. Just corruption revealed, selling secrets, and collective action. So it seems to me like, um, the more he goes overboard, the more people are seeing the actual corruption, and people are starting to take collective action. They're not playing with him anymore.
Yeah,
Uh,
agreed. Agreed. What do you think,
basically,
Mel?
Cleo, what you said with the Melania movie, I saw this meme, and it reads, "Passengers after finding out the in-flight movie is Melania." Can you guys see that? So,
Oh, I love it.
right?
That's great. That's
Uh,
great.
you know, I am not being bamboozled by when he says, "Oh, we're taking a softer stand. We're pulling agents out of Minneapolis." It's all optics. It's just the
Right.
position. I'm doing
Totally.
this over here to hide what's really going on down here. Now he can say, "I'm the greatest. I'm this. I'm that. My popularity." I pulled the moon. That means what? That means secrets coming to the surface. His popularity is going to continue to go in the toilet. People aren't buying it anymore. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, Donald, you say this, but where's the stuff to back you up? Lena Rodriguez said something a long time ago, and she said, Trump's, he'll still have this little small circle of followers, but
Mhm.
people aren't going to pull away from him all at once. But when they see the stuff he's doing, they'll pull away piece by piece, like chiseling away. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yes.
Hmm.
So don't be fooled by these optics. He's not softening anything. He would throw his own mother under a bus, just like with that Bovino guy. The guy when he was reporting on that Alex Pretty murder, he looked that Bovino guy looked like a Gestapo. You know, so I'm not buying the optics. People aren't believing Trump. Um, and the people aren't believing the propaganda anymore. And a final card I pulled, what's going to happen to Trump and his cronies? And look what I pulled, the
Yeah,
tower.
of course. Of course.
So Yeah.
Yeah.
People are just going to be protesting in mass. We've had it. We're done. And they're not going to forget. They're not going to forget Renee Good or Alex Pretty and the other people that were shot and injured by ICE. It should never have happened in the first place. So,
Right.
I saw a picture earlier today, Twin Cities.
so,
They literally did the walk off a work day and shut down the city. They literally shut the city down. I mean, the streets were just packed. I saw pictures upon pictures of different areas where it was just more people than you'd think would fit, you know. So yeah, people have had enough.
people aren't going to buy into his theatrics anymore, his lies anymore, or his fake optics. They're just not going to do it. And people have had it. And the thing that a lot of times elections aren't won on social issues, or they are won on economic ones. And look at the inflation. Look at how much we're paying for chicken, or for eggs, or groceries. Look at what. So
Ground chuck. I went to go buy some the other day, just a small pack of ground chuck. It was like $5.88 a pound. I was like, that's ridiculous.
so
This is Minneapolis today.
So this trend of
Yeah.
is not going to change his behavior. His
Wow.
the fact that he's losing popularity, he'll just try more optics and more lies, but people aren't going to buy it. So there you go.
Yeah, when I Googled protests let me just do it again and I'll tell you how many places come up. Minneapolis, New York City today, New York, Mexico, Mexico City, Iran, New York City tomorrow, Portland, London. And that was just the first few bits that came up in the pop-up. I mean,
Yeah.
people are furious and people are protesting, not just in the United States, but everywhere, because he has incensed so many people. The cards that I got show that a little something different than what you guys are saying. And not that I think that he's going to start being, a Boy Scout or anything. I see that this is impelling him towards leaving. And I don't think he really cares how he leaves. I don't think he cares really if he leaves virtually his body, or if he leaves the country, or if he leaves whatever. He's got the Queen of Pentacles in the middle, and I want to say that's Melania, but I'm not really sure that that's Melania, because I think Melania, if she left the country, she'd go someplace anywhere that Donald wasn't. She just would not want to go with him.
The bigger question is who would have her. A lot of she might try that, but I don't think Slovenia wants her back, and a lot of countries wouldn't want her.
Oh, interesting.
Did y'all ever see the statue they put up of her?
No.
It looks, oh my God, it doesn't look like her at all. It looks like a coal miner in drag or something. I mean, it was really, really bad. And not to put down coal miners or people who dress in drag,
She is a coal miner in drag.
That's where I've seen that before. I knew there was something reminiscent about her look. I also think that, the two of them are looking at various places around the world where they can go, Russia being the first, because both of them have friendly connections there. Although, do we really think that the Putin is still upright and breathing oxygen?
There can only be one dictator in a country. So if they went to Russia, and let's say Putin is still upright and breathing or whatever, the bottom line is it wouldn't last long. Putin doesn't want him there. Once Putin is done, once Trump has fulfilled his usefulness to Putin, Putin will throw him out like a pair of old shoes. So.
Well, and if Dumpy was smart, he would call up his friend Assad and see what's happening with him right now. He went to Russia.
Right.
Haven't heard much from him.
If Putin and Melania went to Russia, they would be thrown out of a first floor window.
Probably. I don't think Putin's pulling the strings in Russia. I think it's.
And speaking of drag queens, our favorite, most beloved drag queen, Miss Tarot D, is in the chat tonight. So.
Oh, hey, Miss Tarot D.
I'm sorry, who is?
Miss Tarot D.
Hi, Miss Tarot D.
Our number one drag queen. with a beautiful
Okay.
purple bouffant.
Okay, so what else we got here? Trump was busy putting up a really ugly and awful post about the Obamas, and it was so badly received, and it was so criticized and so awful and blah blah blah. So he got so much heat that he actually took it down, or he had someone take it down. Now,
I'm going
what?
to put up several questions that we have on that very
Okay,
particular
let's see
thing.
some questions. Good, because I was trying to formulate a question.
All
So
right.
let me see the questions.
First
Will there
question.
will there be more fallout from Trump's posting of the Obama meme? Now they're all blaming a staffer for posting it, and he removed it. Will this help push him out? It's not going to help push him out. No. You know what's going to help? Just to say very quickly, what's going to be pushing that whole regime out, and possibly our entire government out, is all the pieces coming together, and they will
Yep.
come together, all the pieces. It's not going to be any one thing, so give that up. It's not one woman, it's a bunch of women, but it's the all these things. So Pumpkinhead posted a video depicting them. Yeah, okay, so
It's oh,
go
go ahead.
ahead, whoever has something, go
Well,
ahead.
it's like I said, Lena Rodriguez said, it's not going to happen all at once. It's not one thing. It's a whole group of things. But what is really, really incensing Americans, at least 70% of us, are those murders in Minneapolis and him almost militarizing, not almost, militarizing ICE as his own secret police to go after anybody that speaks up to him or even criticizes ICE. People are mad. They're hopping mad. And people are saying, we've had enough. So they're not, as I keep saying earlier, they're not going to fall for his optics. He might try to acknowledge something to try to win, some popularity. Not going to happen. You know, him posting that video again. I didn't do it. Somebody else did it. Blah blah blah. He, for entertainment purposes only, we all know he did it,
Right.
Yeah, we
and
all know.
nobody's buying what he's saying. Oh, somebody made me look bad. Blah blah blah. No, we all know it's a lie. We all know he did it.
Right.
And
I agree.
my guides put one word in my head when it comes to Trump: justice and accountability. And we're
Mhm.
starting to see it take hold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's still, drinking his Diet Cokes and eating his Big Macs and, shoving awful things into the toilet in the White House. But he again, the cards that I get for him, I keep getting the Six of Swords. He wants to get out of this. He does not like this situation that he's in. He's not enjoying it. It's not fun for him anymore. His best buddy is dead, JE. He's dead, so he doesn't have anybody to play with anymore. And I think that he's just really over it. I think this a lot of the things that he's doing in his dementia are just things that he's done before. If you listen to the things that he says, he can't follow the thread of a lot of things. What did he say in that interview? He said, "Yeah, and the waters, and we're hitting the waters." Like he can't even formulate that thing because that's too new of a thing that happened. But if you talk about stealing the election, right? That line he has, right? And I think
Yeah.
he's just playing these old scripts in these old movie reels in his head. That's all he can do. And I don't think he likes this.
I
Go ahead.
don't I don't think he's bored with it. I think he
No.
knows he's losing. I think you're right though. I think what I pick up intuitively is that he's losing control.
Oh yes.
When he starts, and he's going to lose more and more and more control where nobody is even going to pay attention to what he's saying. That's what's going on with in the European Union. You want to tariff us, bring it on. Because what we're doing is forming coalitions over here that we can trade with. So your tariffs won't mean squat, Donald.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he's too stupid to really understand what they're doing. But you're absolutely right. He has lost it, and he even said in one of those interviews where he was saying about, um, his 41 cognitive exams that he aced, and at one point he goes, "Oh well, one of these days I won't be able to do it, but not today." And I'm thinking, "Oh man." For
Well,
10 years you've been a wreck.
I
No.
was the best. I passed it. Yeah. Okay, Donald. 7 cognitive questions, starting with number 1. What is 1 plus 1?
Or
Number
what year is it?
number 2, spell
That would be a good one.
number 2, spell cat. Number 3, spell dog. What year is this? Who's
Yeah.
the president of the United States, Donald? I mean, come on.
Hey, that's a trick question. Yeah,
You're-
he's not doing good. So did everybody have their say? Shari, did you have your say on this?
Yep.
Okay.
You're good.
All right. So let's see. Let's see. Do I have anything else?
Do you want to skim through and pick something out, or you want me to just pull something out?
I want to read on Hakeem Jeffries.
Okay.
Okay.
I used to refer to this guy as my boyfriend. I loved him. I loved what he was doing in Congress. I just thought, this was great. Nancy handed him the reins, and he was, so full of fire. I remember that speech he did where he had it was almost like Gilbert and Sullivan, the things that he was trotting out, and it was all alliterated, and it was really cool. But I don't like what he's doing. He's doing nothing. And a lot of them are doing nothing. And it's clear to me that they're all bought and paid for by some super PAC, and they don't want to go against the super PAC. And so they're just not going to make any waves. And it's like, oh my God, man, read the room. If there was any time to be making waves in history, it's now. So I'm really pissed at him. I want to know, is he going to get a comeuppance, or is he going to end up being the Speaker of the House, or what is going to happen with him? Because that man is not earning his paycheck.
I pulled the death card.
Thank you. Thank you.
Which, who I see becoming Speaker of the House is going to be somebody younger, going to be someone dynamic, and someone who has respect and can't be bought off, and will be very successful in bringing people together. Kind of like somebody, well, she's Crockett, somebody with that kind of personality.
What about AOC?
Yes,
Oh, she'd be perfect.
like that as well. Absolutely. I don't know if it's her.
Yeah, I don't get it either that it's her.
Well, Jeffrey's kind of screwed the pooch.
Hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's bad. It's really bad. What do you guys think, Cleo, Shari?
Well, I threw a few cards. First one I got is taken by force. He has got to reach in there and take the narrative by force. He has got to stand up, quit this Chuck Schumer shuck and jive stuff of a strongly worded letter and actually do something. Then I got succession plan, next phase. He's basically screwing himself out of his own advancement in the party, because people are not going to want to put him up as speaker if he can't actually do anything. And then I got intimidation tactics. He has got to learn to play with fire, hardball. You know that's what they're going to do. That's what he needs to do. We can't be tiptoeing in the tulips around this anymore. It's time for us to actually put on the boxing gloves and get in the ring.
And that's exactly what I see.
Good.
I mean, they've been holding. Well, go ahead, Call.
This is what I got. Tension escalates, just like things are coming to a head with the people in the streets and protests and Dumpy, coming to a head with this guy too. Tension is escalating. Nobody likes this game. Nobody likes it.
No, but I think it's the people in the streets that will really motivate the people in the House and the Senate to finally do something. I see them still sitting back, living in that dream world of don't worry, we're gonna take over the House and the Senate. And they are heading in that direction, and that may well happen. But in the meantime, it's like they don't want to say anything because they don't want to screw stuff up or something. I don't know. If you talk about payoffs, I'm thinking they're all under threat, or they're, that if they say anything, it just gives Trump another excuse to target them or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I do see that, because of all the protests, and especially when those 2 people got killed, and unfortunately, that might keep happening. But yes, this is the kind of thing that's going to make things change. But I even saw, I can't even remember what Patty Murray was talking about, the senator from Washington State. But she was, they're still following the same old path of how things used to be done.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
not that way anymore.
it's not that way, but they don't seem to have caught up with that. But they're going to. It's going to happen here,
You know what
and
I
it's
see?
I think it's in progress right now.
It is.
Mhm.
You know what I see happening is like the late 60s and early 70s, how, young people were protesting against the war in Vietnam and against, all the racism and bigotry, and then Kent State, and that really coalesced people. And
Right.
Yeah.
our young people, people old, middle age, young, whatever, they're going to be marching and protesting more and more and more. And it's going to be reminiscent on the People's March on Selma, when the law enforcement back in those days, just like ICE, where they were turning dogs on people, spraying them with hose. It was horrible. And when people saw that footage, it started to make people think, wait a minute, how can they do this to innocent human beings? And look at the pushback that in those days the White House had against Dr. Martin Luther King. But I see that movie. It's a really good movie about Martin Luther King. And then it shows that, that they finally, I don't want to say gave in to King, but he wasn't going to stop. And so, you know, that power in numbers brought about a lot of positive social change. And that's what I see going on now. People, the March on Selma, they were like, we're tired of the old ways. We're tired of being discriminated against. We're tired of being, you know, thrown around. And I see people doing that now. We don't want those old ways. We're not going to go back to
Mhm,
that. We're not going to let you take us back to that.
mhm.
We will overcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know, and I got 4 words for everybody, and after I just thought about it, someone put it in the chat just now. 4 dead in Ohio.
Yeah.
That
Hmm.
that sparked a second stage of the movement in this country that was just incredible.
Right.
That's what the whole police brutality, all of that stuff, all of that came out. But
And
that
the March on Selma.
4, yeah,
That's
and the March on Selma, yeah.
that started it.
Yeah, that's right,
And
that's
And right
right.
around that same time, you had the 4 little girls that were unalived in the church that they set the bomb off in,
Yep.
and 4 innocent children were killed. And right about that time, and the pluses from the earliest civil rights movement and everything was that once the press got whiff of what was going on, they started showing what was going on, and people across the country, white, black, it didn't matter, were just absolutely just floored by what was happening.
Mhm.
What we're fighting against now is not only the tyranny and everything that's going on, but the fact that we don't have a press that's talking about it. The
but at some
mainstream
point, but at
press.
some point the press will again, because they're going to know that it's not in their favor. They're going to lose money. They're going to lose sponsorships. That woman that's the head of CBS News, she's going to be out on her tuchus,
Yeah, she's gonna be out.
out on her keister. That's what we say in Chicago.
That's
You
right.
know,
Yep.
and so my feeling is that the press will start reporting on it, because people remember, up until the People's March on Selma, you know, the media was controlled then too, but that the people standing up against injustice, just like we're doing now, escalated, and the press was not going to have there. Everybody's going to stop watching. Trump's propaganda arm. Uh,
Mhm.
Maybe a few people will watch it, but the press will have no choice. They're going to, and I see them starting to report finally the truth.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, he agrees.
What?
He agrees. And, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. I'm on a roll.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's crazy. But, the astrology for right now too just keeps building and building and building. there is I think it's a Mars-Pluto square that was happening right during the last, this is probably wrong, but I think it was during the last full moon, and or new moon. It was last new moon, and we had a lot of violence that day too. That was right. I think that was right around the time that Renee Good was unalived. But that aspect that is so dangerous and so uh, it's like tinder. It's like a tinder box ready to just take explode or whatever. But that's going to happen 2 more times in the year. So this stuff is going to keep happening until we really take care of it, until we act on it legislatively, judiciously, um, emotionally, with our feet, with our fists. It's just, and not fists hitting each other, but just up in the air. Yes, we're strong. But
I know you're thinking about, what's been going on with the people that got killed and the protests and stuff, but there's something going on. The Epstein files are a different thing, but that is creating a lot, especially amongst the politicians, are kind of looking at this going, wow, this is not good. This is not cool. To have Trump mentioned 5,300 times, 5,300 times just for the stuff that they've put out lately. There's still more documentation about this. And
mhm,
it's really, and it's even affecting the megas a little bit. Like, well,
it is.
we don't like the idea of a pedophile. We don't, and they've got stuff in there specifically about him talking about girls that were 13 and 14 years old, and
Mhm.
just the whole thing is really terrible. But between the stuff that's actually happening with the ICE thing and the immigrants, and then this Epstein stuff, it's starting to, you can just feel this dirty snowball just building until there's going to be a break. And fortunately,
Hmm.
we still got all those people out there protesting, bringing it up. They're talking about it still. It's not, Trump wants to shove it under the rug, which he's been trying to do, and everybody's just laughing at him. Please, especially the late night talk shows, they're like, well, of course you don't want us to talk about this anymore. Of course it's no big deal to you. Look at what it's saying, though. I mean, it's just so damning against him. And
Yeah.
and
Well,
when you were saying that he thinks he's going to be going, that is one of the things that's going to definitely be moving him out. That'll be the bulldozer of the whole group, of
Mhm.
just
no,
getting him out.
Well, and I think that the Epstein files, if you listen to any one of the people who are looking at the last couple of days of dumps and the horrendous revelations that are in there, to me, all those pieces are like you ever see those bags? It's just a big circle of fabric on the floor, and then they sew a little drawstring to the outer rim of the circle, and when they pull up the strings, it just gathers it all up in a nice little bundle, right? That's how I
mhm.
see that's how I see the Epstein
You
files. They're
know,
that piece of fabric all on the floor. And when people start, and this is why it's going to take people all over the world, when people start prosecuting, not capturing, but arresting all of these people, the Epstein file shows you the roadmap of everything that these horrible, narcissistic, autocrats want to have happen in the world. They want to change the world. And that's why we're having the issues with ICE and in our country. That's just a symptom of it. But the Epstein files reveals the most horrific um, crimes against humanity, really. I mean, because it's all over the world.
you know,
Yes, yes, it is.
rumor has it that there's a toilet paper shortage among politicians because every time an Epstein file is released, they crap their pants.
Yeah.
Oh, kind of like every time you hear a bell, an angel gets its wing.
Yep.
Exactly. Uh, here again, Trump will always try to create a diversion. But what has been released so far with the Epstein or Epstein files is like a fairy tale compared to what's really in the rest of them.
Yeah.
And I see them released. I see them leaked, and Trump was not true. It's not. It'll be totally true. Cleo, you said something. You said it's like a dirty snowball, and it just came in my head. No, it's more like an avalanche of crap. That's
Okay, I'll
really
go
what,
with that one too. Definitely.
you know.
Either
And
way, it's going to be really smelly until we can get it cleaned up.
And
you know what?
you
In
gotta
fact,
wonder why did Epstein create this mountain of information?
the stench will be so bad, and it's already started. The people,
Blackmail.
the people are going to say, "We
Exactly.
don't want to
Yes.
smell that stench anymore. We must do something." And people are going to be. I mean, I'm telling you. The other thing is the Jack Smith testimony. That's going to come out again. So it's
Oh
just
yeah.
everything all coming out at once. And Colleen, I like what you said. These are symptoms. Why did they happen to begin with?
Well, misogyny for one. I know I lived in New York in the mid 70s to early 80s, and it was tough to be a woman and working in at that time, because every day when you went to work you had to look a certain way. There was still really heavy dress codes then. um, and I found that, and I worked for lawyers, so I worked for some people who were, some of them were great people, a lot of them were cretins, and I
Neanderthals.
I took my life in my hands every day that I went to work. I mean, it was nothing for a man to push you into a closet or just say, "Oh, could you just help me find the post-its back here?" And then before you know it, you're up against a wall. I mean, men felt like they could do anything. We
You
were
know what?
just rag dolls. We
You know
were
what?
nothing.
What's so horrible about that is, and I think you're touching on it, Colleen and Cleo and Sherry, is they thought it was okay,
Yeah,
and
they
it's
Yeah.
still do. They
okay.
still do, Mel.
Uh,
Men of that generation still do.
and it's not okay.
No.
And that's why with this Epstein file and Epstein in the beginning, they weren't making such a big deal about it because they thought it was okay. Well, now what this keeps this avalanche of crap is not okay. And
And the younger and younger the victims get, the more people are starting to back up and go, whoa, 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 wait a minute.
that's right.
We're talking a 12-year-old child. Y'all were trafficking a 12-year-old child. Well, wake up and smell the coffee, because that's been going on for eons, for young girls getting trafficked to go be some rich man's plaything for the week or two or whatever. I mean, you go back to the gladiators and the Roman time, and even before that, it's never really changed. They've just kind of prettied it up and cleaned it up, and they've gotten a little bit more elitist about it by the pocketbook. It's these people who have more money than they know what to do with, and so they can but pretty much buy their way out of anything. You got enough money, you can buy enough judges and lawyers and whatnot to pretty much buy your way out of a jail cell. And we're getting to the point where that scale is getting ready to flip over to the other side, where there's not enough money on the planet for you to get out from under what you've been doing. And I think that's where I feel like we're going with all of this, is in that opposite direction of, I don't care how much money you got, dude, you're guilty. And so,
Yeah. The thing that's frightening is that, yes, the Epstein files lays out this almost like a roadmap of everything that has been going on, and shows the breadth of depravity that people are capable of. But in the streets of Minneapolis and some other of our cities, we see that there is real world changes that are taking place that are going virtually unopposed. And there's so, think of all the people who have been disappeared into these concentration camps. We don't know what's happening to them, and many thousands of them have just disappeared outright from the camps, and their families don't even know where they are. And that kind of stuff just gets kind of glossed over in the light of the news about what's going on with the Epstein files. So it's just like this many, it's like a trifle, it's a many layered thing that nobody can quite get to the bottom of. But I'm telling you, we are going to have help from all over the world to bring these people to account. They've been working on it for probably before Dumpy was even put into office. I mean,
But the things you're talking about with the ICE agents or whatever they're called, the people that they're taking away and the people that they are mistreating, they've got family, they've got friends, and people all over the country are protesting. So that is not going to get shoved under the rug. People are
oh no,
trying
that's
to,
right. Yeah.
people are trying to expose it, and a lot of these people, I don't know how they managed to get some attorneys to help them, but just like the guy with his little boy that was 5 years old, that they just said the mother abandoned him and stuff, which she did not. That's not what happened at all. And this guy's lawyer got him out of there, and he has been returned to wherever he came from. And
You know,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah. And
sad that I mean, it's sad what's going on in this country, but there are a lot of lawyers that are chomping at the bit to help these people that have been illegally detained.
Yeah.
Um, you know, when we say some haven't been heard from, Cleo, I think you're right. The public outcry is going to be so strong, and that the government is forced to say, wait a minute, we're going to have to disclose the whereabouts of these people. They can't say we don't know where they are. That's just not going to fly.
I disagree. I think that the Trump regime is going to keep saying, "Oh, we can't do anything, or we can't do anything." I think it's going to be when we get rid of the regime that we will be able to open up the whatever simpleton records they think they kept and begin to piece things together. I don't think it's I think that's the old rules, and I don't think the old rules apply here at all. I think that they're not
But
playing by any rules.
they're still using the same excuses that they're picking up
Yeah,
dangerous criminals.
Mhm.
five
But
years.
nobody that's been involved in any of this stuff with their lawyer, nobody is a dangerous criminal.
Right.
Right. Those are the people that have lawyers, but there's many of them
Well,
that don't have lawyers.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what people are listening to. They're like, you said you were going to go after the criminals and you were going to clean up the streets or the cities or whatever you were
Mhm.
trying to do.
Mhm.
That did not happen. As a matter of fact, it just made it worse. And
Mhm.
suddenly we've got people getting killed.
Yeah,
So
And the worst part is a lot of these people that they're joining this to can't afford lawyers.
exactly.
right,
Yeah.
right. No, they
Well,
can't.
yeah.
I see organizations like the ACLU stepping in. I mean,
Mhm.
to file lawsuits on behalf of people, but there's not enough lawyers. That's my point. There would be lawyers chomping at the bit that would want to help some of these people, but there's been so many rounded up and sent to these concentration camps. It's impossible to keep track of all of them, and it's just horrific. I agree, Colleen. It's about the old order, but I there's going to be a lot of truth told. And you're right. It's about once the regime is gone, piecing it together. Um,
Mhm.
but I see a lot more coming out that's going to be pretty damning as well.
Oh, something else I wanted to bring up, and I think I heard this on the Katie Fang news channel, that there are reports that many ICE agents have not been paid in months.
Oh God, that
and
breaks
then
my
and they
heart.
haven't got their bonuses, and
Oh,
they're asking their families for money, and so I think a lot of them are going to have to go get other jobs because they can't afford to work for ICE anymore. No matter how much fun it is, they can't
You
they
know
can't
what?
continue to do it.
I
That's
just saw.
good.
With AI and things like that, a lot of these ICE agents' real identities will be exposed.
They have been.
When they try to go find like other jobs, their identity will be exposed, and a lot of people aren't going to hire them. They'll be like,
Yeah.
"Nope." So
I saw a couple of shorts earlier today and this was in New York, of New York City cops coming up on ICE agents that are there with all their full masks and literally reaching over and ripping their masks off of their faces and
yeah.
saying, if you're going to walk around here with a gun and a badge, we want to see your face. And that's the law here. And if you got your
Good.
face covered up, you better uncover it or I'm going to put you in jail. And
The
I'm
thing
like,
that
oh, do it.
the thing that
Good.
gave me a glimmer of hope was when Governor Walz called in the National Guard in Minneapolis, and they were there
Mhm.
with donuts and coffee, handing them out to the people exercising their constitutional right to
Yes.
peaceful assembly. And they were like saying, "We are protecting these people." And I
Yes.
see a lot more of that happening.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I see a lot more of that happening too. And I know that the guy Bovino, I know they sent him back to California, I believe, from Minneapolis.
They
So
did.
who knows what kind of shenanigans they're going to try to get him to do there. And here's the thing. I don't see that there's a great deal of time that Trump is going to be upright and breathing in order to say, yeah, let's do this. And even though Stephen Miller, I believe, is the one really calling the shots, he needs Trump's, I don't know, for lack of a better word, gravitas in order to make those orders go forward. I don't see that this going on for a very long time. However, that does not mean that all of that horrible activity is going to decrescendo up to the end. In actuality, it's going to crescendo
Well,
up
that's
to the
my
end.
whole point about the optics. They're not becoming softer. They're just doing it more, underhandedly. I have a question. Maybe you all can answer this. A lot of these people that have been sent to concentration camps and deported and are still being held, once Cittadini is gone, what do you see happening to those people? I mean, do you see the government making reparations? Do you see them, having an opportunity to come back here? I mean,
Good
what do you
question.
for those people?
It's a good question.
I don't think they're going to want to come back. I mean,
Well, I wouldn't want to, but I guess, but the question is, will the government make some sort of reparation? Will we find out everyone that was deported, the people that went missing? Well, I mean, what happens to those people? That's my.
wow. Yeah, good point. I don't
I
know.
think we're going to
I
have
haven't
to
ever
if
thought of
we
that
truly
before.
want to.
I'm sorry. Say again.
Go ahead, Cleo. I'm sorry.
That they're I never even thought about that, they should, that's what they should do, but and they, but it took what, 30 years for them to do that to Native Americans. I mean, it's just or maybe 100 years. I don't know. I mean, but you got a good point. That's what they should do. There's somebody over here, Joan. Yeah, Joan. She says, "Can you read on Kamala becoming Speaker of the House, and then President and VP are impeached and removed, and the Speaker becomes President Harris?" Now, I don't never thought about this, but I was just like, I love that idea. I
I
love
do
that.
too. Well, and somebody earlier said, have y'all looked at Kamala Harris's website? It's changed. And so I just went and checked it out. Wait, let me share this with y'all real quick.
But real quick, can I just ask, Colleen, what do you think about those people that were detained? I just kind of want to entertain that just for a second.
I think that the group or the council that actually takes control once Dumpy's gone, and I think there'll be an interim kind of like a military thing, but I think once we have some kind of a council in place that is going to try to rebuild whatever our government is going to look like, I think that they will definitely make provisions for those people to be uh, transitioned back into American society and have all of their rights reinstated the way they should be. They may even
Yeah.
take some of them that were in the process of becoming citizens and just say, okay, you're a citizen now. Yeah. They're just going to go bing, bang, boom. I also think very strongly that Canada might help us with that process because Canada's really good at this and we're not. And and I think they're gonna almost in a protective sense feel like, wait, don't hurt those people anymore, you barbarians. Don't bring them in and be barbaric to them. So I think they're gonna want to help. I think Mexico may try to help too. I think that
Yeah.
that process of bringing those people back, because we're looking at such huge numbers of people who were damaged in so many ways, especially the children, we're going to need all the help we can get to do that. But I do think that council government panel, whatever the hell it is, I do think that they will take steps to formalize the process of integrating, that's the word, integrating them back into American society if they want to. And I think that they will accept help from definitely Canada, but maybe also Mexico, to make all of that happen. I'm telling you, the world is going to be happy to help us once that regime is gone, and once they see that we are serious about rebuilding our country in the humane and democratic way, and adhere to the original premise of all men are created equal, or all humans
All
are
people
created,
are created.
all people are created equal. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, my guides.
Here's that new page of Kamala Harris. It's now the office of Kamala Harris.
I've been
Is what
pondering.
her
I've been
site is saying.
I've been pondering the question for a long time, and it's like my guides tell me they will have the opportunity to be repatriated. That's what keeps coming through to me. That's why
Yes,
I asked.
that's
Sherry,
the
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to get that out. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I was just wanted to show it real quick because several people had mentioned that her website had been changed and looked really different, and so I went and looked, and it's like, yeah, it's. I mean, she's now listing it as the office of Kamala D. Harris, and so it's like, okay, that sounds a lot more official sounding than just Kamala.com or whatever it was before. It's like
Mhm.
now it's starting to look more and more professional.
I just saw something so funny. Let me pull this up. This is hilarious. Okay, I'm just gonna share this and let you all see it. Let's see, is that right? Okay, here we go. Oh, it's so ridiculous. Can we have Katie? Is that her? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. All right. That was a good laugh. First, Katie Miller, nobody cares what you want.
That's true.
Nobody cares what you want. And B, uh, Dumpy will be, pushing up daisies in 2020. He's not going to be here. And C, take that woman's name out of your mouth. Don't even say her name.
Thank you.
You
Really,
don't deserve
really.
to say her name. Okay, I'm done.
I think we're all on a roll tonight. Really.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
it is 8:30, folks. So we have been on for our hour. Does anybody have something that they want to throw out there, wrap up with, put a cherry
You
on
had
top?
400 in chat.
Oh, wow. Yay.
So
How many?
you
400.
had 400 a little bit ago. It's down to 359 now, but you had over 400 while ago when I looked. So
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. So,
And I just want to say to everybody that the more chaotic it gets, and it's just really gone just so far more out there than I ever thought it would, and it just keeps going there. The worse it gets, the sooner it's going to change, because we gotta go through the poop before we can get to the good stuff, and so just hang in there. God, it is. I know it's just exhausting. This whole thing is just exhausting, but uh,
You-
and
it's gonna get better. But you got to have all this bad stuff happening before we get to the good stuff. And
know, Cleo, it's like my friend Beverly said, she's a medium, and when all this started, even like right after the election, she said, "Buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a wild ride."
oh
yeah,
yeah,
Boy, was she right! It's a lot wilder than what I thought it would be. But by the way, Cleo,
it is.
I love your glasses. I love those glasses. Those are so cool.
Thanks.
and I forget. Anyway, it'll come back to me in a minute.
okay. So I want to tell everybody again that, if you're watching this channel and this is the only show of mine that you watch, you may not be on a journey towards becoming enlightened. But if you watch anything else on my channel, then you are a person that is on a journey towards becoming enlightened. And those of you who consider yourself light workers, I want you to dig deep and send that light out more than you ever had, because
Yeah.
people need it. We need it.
Yeah.
And we need you to do that.
I was on Marina show, Shine Your Light. I think it was last Friday or Saturday. It was last.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I turned my porch light on, and I said I'm going to leave it on for an entire week. So I turned it off tomorrow. So little things like that to just rewire the energy, it helps.
Yeah,
It
Yes.
does.
Yes, and
absolutely.
rewiring the energy is such a good intention because the energy right now, if you're dealing with fear because of like, I have neighbors all over the place that I'm just like, holy crap, I hope, we don't see those masked men coming up here, but my town is actually very, very Republican, very MAGA, so I kind of doubt that we will have that here. But the energy can be shifted, and even those people that are so seemingly not what you want to think of politically, they can be shifted, and you can't shift them in conversation. You're not going to convince them by talking to them. You convince them by being open to what they want to talk about, because some of them may be having doubts about what's going on, or just being their friend, or just helping out. Like if they have, like, the power goes out, or like we just had a wicked snowstorm, helping them out, doing their shopping or delivering a hot meal to them or just saying hello, just being nice. So anything that you can do to put that light out there in a positive way to whomever, you need to do that. If you think of yourself as a spiritual being, it's not fair to us and to the universe for you to only be spiritual when your candles are lit and you're sitting there meditating. And that's the easy part. Okay?
Yeah,
When things get hard, that's when you have to use your faith and your spirituality.
That's right.
That's when you have to send out your light and say, no, I won't be afraid. I believe that we are going to be okay. I believe that love is stronger than hate. And I
yeah,
believe that when you turn on the light, you get rid of the darkness. So
exactly.
don't be a
And
coward. Use it.
it's also very important for us to show support and send an email, make a phone call, a fax, whatever, to our representatives, whether if they're in our party or the opposite party. But if they do something right, contact them and let them know, hey, you stood up for this or you stood against that. Thank you so much. You're doing the Lord's work, whatever you want to tell them. And just it's just that it's giving them the feedback that when they stand up against the tyranny, that we see that and we appreciate that and we're supporting them for doing that, because in the end it's going to come down to Nuremberg trials, except they're going to be full of ice and the current administration, and whoever's still kicking by that point. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to learn real quick. It doesn't matter that somebody told you to do it or that was your orders to do it. You knew it was wrong. And because of that, you're just as responsible as the person that ordered you to do it.
Bingo. Bingo.
Um, and for those that aren't of our age group on air here, if you're 20, 30, 40 years younger, you may be like, what the hell are the Nuremberg trials? Google it. Go look it up. I mean, let's just say that the Nazi regime learned real quick what it was to be held accountable, even though they were just following orders, which is why you had Senator Kelly and several other senators and representatives who made that little viral video clip telling the military, you are not obligated to obey illegal orders. It is actually, you are responsible for disobeying illegal orders. And they tried to sick the DOJ on Senator Kelly and do all kinds of stuff. Well, honey, he's taking them to the bank because he keeps bringing them to court and they're tucking tail and running. So it's like he's not playing it like you don't mess with a man that's been on a space station for several weeks or months or however long he was up there. And it's a freaking astronaut there. I mean, so served 2-3 deployments in Desert Storm and whatnot. It's like you don't screw around with people like that. You think you're tough? You ain't seen nothing yet,
I would,
So,
I would suggest everybody watching the Nuremberg trials, the 1961 version.
yes,
And that movie, that was really good. There was some really all-star cast. And two things. Well, number one, that there were many different Nuremberg trials. And the reason they had them at Nuremberg is because that's when Hitler, that's where he passed the Nuremberg law that took away all the civil rights for the Jews. And
right.
so, but anyway, uh, it was so one of the people they tried in the Nuremberg trials. It was the judges that condemned innocent people to death.
Yeah.
Uh, that's what that portion of the trials were. The newest movie, the Nuremberg trials, is about how a psychiatrist interviewed Hermann Goering, who was right next to Hitler. So
Yeah.
there's different trials, but see the 1961 movie, and Burt
That
Lancaster
was
plays the part of a judge, and I forget who played a member of the tribunal. I can't.
Spencer Tracy.
Spencer Tracy, yes. At the end, when Spencer Tracy looks at Burt Lancaster, and Burt Lancaster says something to the effect of, "I feel bad." I forget what he said, but Spencer Tracy said, "You knew it was wrong when you convicted a man that you knew was innocent to death."
Yeah.
And so that
Who watched Schindler's List?
that line stuck in my head, and I think that's apropos for today as well.
I do too. I do too, Mel. Thank you. That was great to run all that down, and thank you, Shari, for bringing that up. Thank you, Cleo, for all of your thoughts and your readings, and all of you. I just can't thank you enough. This was a great show, and it was great to have everybody bring all these things to the fore. I got to tell you, the news is so. There's just so much going on that I can't watch it. I can't watch all the things about Epstein and the ICE things. I can't do as much as I wish I could stay on top of it, but it's really overwhelming.
It's too
can't.
chaotic. It's just
Yeah.
it changes so fast. Nobody can keep up with it.
And that's
I think
exactly what Trump. That's what Trump wants.
Exactly.
Everybody wants, yeah.
And it
And
works.
that's why we all have to work together and help each other and support each other. That's just so important right now, so that people don't feel alone and afraid. All right, guys, we have been on now for an hour and almost 3 minutes. I told everybody we'd be cutting it at an hour because we all have places to go, people to meet, things to do, because we're very popular.
Dinner to cook.
Dinner to cook. There you go. Thank you for being with us. I love you all, and we will see you next time on Politarology. See you later,
Bye.
guys.
Bye-bye.